Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Meg and today I am going to be teaching you a really fun hip opening flow. This is going to be great to open up through your inner hamstrings, through your inner hips. It's challenging, it works through the shoulders, but it's so much fun. You don't really need anything to do this class. I always recommend working with a good quality grippy mat, especially when you're doing some sort of vinyasa or flow. But if you haven't got one, it's not the end of the world. Working on a hard floor is always recommended as well, but again, it's not the end of the world if you don't have those things. And when you're ready, we will get started. We're going to begin this flow in our down dog. So pushing through the hands, shoulders are up by the ears and lifting the hips up towards the ceiling. You have two different options to come into your first pose. You can either walk up to the top of the mat, take the feet wide so that your heels are down in towards the mat and your toes are hanging off at a 45-degree angle, and then bend down to come into your malasana squat. Or if you're feeling comfortable and you feel like this is something that you can do, you can take the big toes together in your down dog, deep bend into your knees and jump into your malasana squat, lifting up through the hips, through the spine, through the top of the head, pushing the knees back and behind, breathing here, making sure that you're not rounded forward, lifting up nice and tall. If you feel a little bit confused as to how to get into your malasana squat, I have got a breakdown video that you guys can follow along. I'll pop it up at the top so you can have a little look at that if you need to. Maybe start to come up onto one foot and then the other. Opening up through the ankles, getting a bit of movement through the body. And we'll come back into the center. If your hands aren't already down in towards the mat, we're going to place them down and step the left foot to the back of the mat. Let's take the back knee down. So we're coming into our lizard lunge here. So your right heel should be down into the mat, toes hanging off the edge, and your hands are underneath your shoulders. Let's come into a bit of movement with the hip here, especially if you need to. You can stay in stillness and just push through the hands, gazing forwards here in your lizard lunge, or you can kind of rock from one side to the other. Maybe creating a circle with the left hip and then going the other way. Imagine there's a pencil on your left hip bone and you're drawing a nice big circle to warm up through the hip. We're then going to start to peel up the toes on the right hand side so the right knee starts to fall outwards. Walking the left hand into the center and then picking up, if you can, through the back leg, so through that left foot. If that feels too much, place the right hand on the right knee, push the knee away, and just focus on opening up through the body. If you can, lift your left knee or left foot. You can grab hold of the foot and start to twist open here. Think about gazing up towards the ceiling, opening through the chest, opening through the shoulder. Deep breath in. Exhale to unwind. Hands are underneath the shoulders, and we're going to walk the right foot in towards the center of your mat. Flex the back toes to come into your low lunge, maybe bringing the arms up towards the ceiling. We're going to take this into our warrior two. So we're going to bend into that front knee and just pivot the back foot to face the long edge of the mat, making sure that the heel of your right foot is in line with the arch of your left. Keep that deep bend into your front knee, squeeze through the glutes, squeeze the shoulder blades together into your warrior two. Left hand, left leg, lifting up to come into your reverse warrior. Imagine you're reaching for something over towards the left hand side and keep that bend into your right knee. Maybe gaze up towards the ceiling, opening through the chest. Deep breath in. Exhale back into your warrior two. Straighten through the front leg. And we're going to pivot the toes to face the long edge of the mat. From here, you can then start to fold forward into your wide leg fold. So we're going to take the hands down. You can always use blocks here if you need to. Inhale, halfway lift, flat spine, lift the tailbone up high, push through the hands. Exhale, we'll let the chest fall down or the head fall down in towards the ground. Maybe taking the forearms down and just letting the head hang heavy here. Inhale, halfway lift. And then we're going to take the toes outwards. So your heels are in towards you, your toes are coming out at a 45-degree angle again. We're going to start to come into our Skandasana, but to warm up through Skandasana, we're going to bend into one knee, walk with the hands, bend into the other. Now, if this is as far as you can go, that's absolutely fine. But as your hips warm up, you might find that you can start to come all the way down. And if you can come down, maybe you can lift up the toes, but only if you can keep your bottom heel down. Lifting up and down. If that feels too much, just stick to bending into the knees. You can come as far down, you can come quite low, but you don't need to pick up the toes if it feels uncomfortable. Let's come all the way up. And we're going to bend into the right knee and come into our full Skandasana. Again, if your full Skandasana is here, just with a deep bend into the right knee, and your back is straight and you're feeling strong, that's absolutely fine. If you can start to take the hips down, maybe you can take the hands away, but only if you're straight through the spine. Coming into Skandasana, pushing your right knee back and behind. I do have a breakdown video on how to do Skandasana as well. So if you want to follow that, I'll link that up at the top and you can click on that and follow that class through. Deep breath in. And we're going to turn to face the long or the short edge of the mat, so the top of the mat. Lifting up, twisting down to come into your high lunge. Let's place the hands either side of the front foot. Straighten into the leg, push through the shoulder blades and step the right foot to meet the left. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, roll up onto the toes. We'll come back down. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So we're starting in our down dog. To get into your down dog, make sure your hands are underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Flexing through the toes, hips come back towards the heels, lift up and back into your down dog. Push through your hands so your shoulders are up by your ears, lift the tailbone up high. We're doing the same on this side as the other side. So if you want to, you can either walk up to the top of your hands to come into your Malasana squat, or if you feel confident with jumping, you can bend into the knees, inhale, exhale, to jump into your Malasana squat. Your hands are either down into the mat with a flat back or straight back, or they're in at heart center with a flat back. Lifting up tall, pushing the knees back and behind, breathing here. And if you want to add on a little bit here, we can do a bit of hip mobility on this side. So it's keeping the body as still as you can. We're going to drop one knee down and lift it back up. Drop the other knee down and lift it back up. So keep going. Some people, this will be really easy, and some people, it will be really difficult. It depends on how good your hip mobility is. And if you're someone that finds that this is just too much, come and sit onto your bum. Take the feet wide. Bend through the knees and drop each knee from one side to the other, keeping the body as still as you can. And then if you can do that, having everything as still as possible, and just drop one knee down and lift it back up. The other knee drops, lift it back up. Notice how I'm not moving, like this. Keep everything still. Drop one knee down and lift. Other knee down and lift. Obviously, if your Malasana squat feels good doing it here, then carry on in your Malasana squat. Let's do one more each side. Drop one knee and then the other. Coming back into that Malasana squat if you're sitting on your bum. Coming up, lifting tall, push the tailbone back and behind. Let's place the hands down into the mat, and we're stepping the right foot to the back of the mat this time. Knee comes down into your low lizard lunge. Again, you can come into some circles with that right hip. Remember, if you're doing circles, to go both ways. You can rock from side to side, or you can just focus on your stillness in your lizard lunge. Focus on opening up through that left hip bone. Focus on pushing through the hands. Maybe we'll come into a stretch from here. So you can walk the right hand into the center of the mat and start to peel up the toes on the left foot. Let the outside edge of the foot come down into the mat. Left hand, left knee, push it away. Level 1, or your easier level, coming into a gentle twist. Think about opening the chest up high, gazing up. If you want to add on, take a bend into the right knee and see if you can grab hold of the foot to twist open again. Chest up towards the ceiling, trying to open the heart up here. Taking a couple more breaths. Exhale to untwist. Perfect. Coming back into that lizard lunge. Let's walk the left foot into the center of the mat. Hands either side of the left foot. Let's pick up the back knee if you can. So we're coming into our low lunge, maybe bringing the arms up and above you, lifting through the body and keeping your tailbone tucked. Maybe you can pivot the back foot to come straight into your warrior 2 from here. If you need to take the hands down and walk with the hands, absolutely fine. Tucking the tailbone, squeezing through the belly, squeezing through the shoulder blades. Bend into your left knee here. Right arm, right leg, into your reverse warrior. Gazing up, keep that deep bend. Inhale to come up, back into your warrior. Breathing here, feel that burn for a second. And then unbend the leg, straighten it back out. Let's take the toes forward. We're coming back into that wide leg fold. But this time, if you want to add on, we're going to interlace the fingers behind you. So they're like this. Push the hands down and away from your body, so you're kind of pushing the chest forwards. Slowly melting down. Halfway, begin to lift the arms. And then exhale all the way down. This will challenge your balance, so if it feels too much, you can always place those hands down and towards the ground. Breathing here. Soft bend behind the knees, don't lock them out. Opening up through the shoulders, through the chest, through the back, and we'll let go. Inhale, halfway lift, hands are down into the mat, and we're going to take this into our Skandasana again. So it's up to you what you want to do here. You can either just stick to that mobility, going one side then the other. Maybe you want to come all the way down in your Skandasana. But we're going to pivot the toes out wide, so they're wider than the heels, and bend into the left knee. Maybe you need to come into more mobility, especially if you're new to Skandasana. It might be a little bit too much. Maybe you can come down, bending into the left leg, into your Skandasana pose. Remember, place the hands in front if you need to. I don't want you rolling forwards or looking down. I want you up, lifted through the chest. If there was a puppet, or if you were a puppet and you want a piece of string, I want you up and lifted. It's almost like you're sitting in this position. Push your left knee back out and behind. Only bring the hands into heart center if it feels comfortable. Breathing here, wherever you are, even if you've just got a soft bend behind the knee and you're lifting up through the hands. Whatever your variation of Skandasana is. Take a breath in. As you exhale, you can either place the hands down to pivot to face the top of your mat, or you can walk or pivot the toes to come into your high lunge. Hands either side of the foot, pushing through the hands. We'll then straighten up through the left foot, press through those hands, and see if you can step the left to meet the right to come into your down dog. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, let's come onto the knees, all the way down into your child's pose. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this flow. It is challenging and it is quite a lot on the inner hips and on the inner hamstrings, but it's one of those flows that the more you practice, the better it becomes. It's a good flow to do first thing in the morning, especially if you're someone who has tight hips in the morning, because there's a lot of hip mobility there. But I really hope you enjoyed this class and this flow, and I look forward to practicing with you all again soon. Thanks. Bye.